ecotourism? Well, it's tourism where tourists go to exotic, often threatened natural environments, and it is intended to be low impact and environmentally friendly in comparison to traditional forms of mass commercial tourism. There's often an element of ecotourism that aims to help conserve these environments, and the purpose is to raise awareness about environmental issues and cultural practices, as well as to provide direct aid to conservation efforts and for local indigenous people groups. Ecotourists are also looking to have adventure as they learn about the environment and different cultures. Ecotourism is extremely popular in Latin America. For example, the Galapagos Islands, a series of 13 islands off the coast of Ecuador that have remarkable biodiversity, are an extremely popular destination for ecotourists. Over the past 200 years, scientists and explorers alike have been intrigued by the beauty and uniqueness of these islands. There are plants and animals here that cannot be found anywhere else in the world, and it truly is a wonder. However, as more and more people came to the islands, they brought along foreign plant and animal species that have had a devastating effect on the delicate balance in the Galapagos ecosystem. For example, goats were introduced to the islands as a food source for new inhabitants, but they became a problem because they created competition with the giant tortoises and iguanas over valuable food sources. Since the introduction of the goats, the giant tortoises have become endangered due to lack of food. Some of the islands have banned goats, which has renewed its ecosystem back to its former order. Also, there are now strict regulations to preserve the environment around the Galapagos, known as the Galapagos Inspection and Quarantine System, which bans bringing in new plant or animal species and requires boats and planes to be fumigated upon arrival. So although the popularity of ecotourism does bring more people to the Galapagos Islands, it has also provided regulations to promote conservation. Another example of ecotourism in Latin America can be found in the Amazon rainforest, which is one of the biggest rainforests in the world, and it covers a large portion of the South American continent, including 9 countries. The Amazon River, the largest river in the world, runs through the western region of the continent, through the rainforest, and empties into the Atlantic Ocean. The Amazon region is a very important area not only to South America, but also to the world, because the trees in the rainforest provide roughly 20% of the oxygen in the world, and many pharmaceuticals have been discovered and produced from plants in the Amazon rainforest. However, over the past few decades, deforestation has become an increasingly large problem that has been threatening the very existence of the rainforest and the ecosystem of the Amazon region. Ecotourism has helped reduce the rate of deforestation because it brings in revenue without cutting down trees. In fact, the value of tourism in the rainforest is dependent on the abundance of trees and the health of the environment. It has also made many people more aware of the devastating effects of deforestation. While the influx of so many tourists do cause some problems, such as the introduction of new species, overall in the Amazon region it appears to have done more good than harm. Costa Rica is a beautiful country in Central America that has thrived on tourism for decades. It has a rich rainforest, including Monteverde, a breathtaking cloud forest, several massive volcanoes, and scenic beaches. Costa Rica is a prime destination for tourists interested in hiking, surfing, seeing exotic birds and animals, and scuba diving. The tourist industries in Costa Rica are incredibly conscious about how their actions affect the environment. Tour guides are quick to explain the importance of environmental conservation and of protecting the wildlife. However, despite many of the locals' best efforts, the presence of tourists does change the ecosystem. For example, the animals like monkeys and coates and even wild cats like ocelots become more comfortable in the presence of humans and machines like cars. This changes their behavior and can cause them to be more vulnerable to predators, and in some cases, wild animals will even become dependent on humans for food sources. At a tourist center near the Arenal volcano, workers leave raw meat out for ocelots to eat so that they'll come to the center and tourists get to see them. This is especially disturbing because ocelots are nocturnal, and the ocelots around the center change their behavior and come out during the day to eat the food left out. Some uneducated and naive tourists even make the mistake of approaching and touching these dangerous wild animals. Feeding wild animals like this is illegal in Costa Rica, but it does not mean it does not happen, and it is an example of how ecotourism can be harmful to an environment. It is important to remember that ecotourism is not perfect, and it could always be improved, but it does do good things, such as promoting environmental and cultural awareness and providing revenue for locals. Remember, no matter where your adventure takes you, be kind to the environment, leave nothing behind but boot prints, take nothing but pictures, and kill nothing but time.